One of the questions I like to ask when I talk to people about leadership is, who's a particular leader that's positively caught your attention and why? You see, leadership is a subject that personally interests me. I'm always curious to see what responses people have and the types of leaders that come to mind when I ask people this question in the moment. Now, one of my personal go-to leaders, somebody that I've taken influence from over the years, is Jack Welch. Jack's no longer on this planet. He sadly passed away in 2020 at the age of 84. But for those of you unaware, maybe you don't know about Jack or you're unfamiliar with his impact and the legacy that he created, he's the former CEO of General Electric, GE, and he's regarded as a titan of industry, somebody alongside the likes of Andy Grove, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, a visionary leader who not only transformed a company, but an entire industry at that. Welch led GE as CEO and chairman from the year 1988 to 2003, having joined the company initially in 1960 as a junior chemical engineer. In his time as CEO, he grew the company by more than 4,000%, taking the company from $12 billion of annual revenue in 1988 to almost $500 billion by the time he retired in 2003. He was regarded as both an incredibly tough and ruthless person, but an amazing investor in people in equal measure. What grabs my attention about Welch is the simplicity of his methods and the ability for other leaders to be able to apply these same methods in their organizations. Don't get me wrong, simple doesn't mean easy, but Jack grew GE by record amounts by creating a clear and compelling vision, flattening the management structure and eliminating bureaucracy wherever he saw it, empowering people to deliver on their part of the vision, a host of other things, all of which is replicable by any company if they just put attention behind the right things. That being said, the model that I keep returning to most at the moment with the leaders that I have conversations with comes from a book written about Jack, but not by Jack. In Jeffrey Crame's book on Jack Welch, he shares the leadership formula that Jack put into practice during his time in charge of the company. He refers to it as Welch's 4 E's of leadership. During Jack's tenure at GE, that company turned out more Fortune 500 CEOs than any other organization has ever, period. Leaders like James McNeary of 3M fame, Larry Bossidy over at Honeywell, and Robert Nardili of Home Depot, all of which are interesting, all of which have interesting backstories that are worth looking into in their own rights. But the 4E's model, which later became 4E's and 1P, is a really simple framework for assessing both yourself and other leaders against. In combination, they stand for this: energy, energize, edge, and execution, with passion being added into the mix at a later date. Energy is the ability to attack the work that you do. It's the ability to genuinely love the work that you do and have a desire to work hard in doing so. Whereas energize, that's about the ability to get people G'd up about the work that they're doing. It's the ability to inspire people to do truly amazing work and go beyond what they might think is possible. Edge, well, that's about having the courage to take the tough calls that life presents you with. It's the ability to stop thinking and act in the moment in order to move things forward. And then execute, that's about getting the job done. It's the ability to get things over the finish line and actually achieve results, even when things get tough. And then passion, of course, added in at a later date. It's about loving the work that you do. People who genuinely love their work aren't afraid to work hard, but they also care genuinely about the people that are doing it alongside them. They get a kick out of succeeding themselves, but also in seeing others succeed. This is a simple framework, and it's one that Welch would encourage not only as a framework for assessing himself against, his leaders against, but also other talent against. And talent was a huge priority for Jack Welch. So what can you do with all of this? Well, it's simple. Maybe start by just asking 5 really straightforward questions of yourself. Things like, number 1, do I bring an energy to my team every day? All day? Am I showing up in a positive way and with a positive energy that trickles down onto other people? Or number 2, do people want to work for me? Am I energizing the people who work for me and the people that sit around me? Or number 3, do I feel like I know when to make a gut call? Am I hungry to win? And with that, am I able to make those tough calls that are required in those moments? Or number 4, Do I continually drive both myself and my team professionally? Am I taking action so that we can achieve results together? Or number 5, do I bring an intense enthusiasm towards all aspects of my life? Do I have an authentic, heartfelt passion for the work that I'm doing? Don't just apply this to yourself, however. Ask this about the leaders and managers that sit around you also. Better still, open up conversation with the wider organisation. Get them to feed back on people's energy, their passion, their edge, or their ability to energise and their ability to execute on their job. You can reframe these questions as a method of coaching and mentoring those around you. Questions like, what energy are you bringing to your team right now? In what ways are you showing up, both with a positive way and a positive energy? Or, do your people really want to work for you? In what ways do you feel like you're energizing those that work for you and those that work around you? Or maybe, how do you feel about making gut calls? In what ways are you hungry to win and able to make those tough calls when needed? Or questions like, are you continually driving for results for your team and for yourself? What action have you taken? What action are you taking to get those results? Or finally, do you have an intense enthusiasm towards all aspects of your life? In what way do you have an authentic, heartfelt passion for the work that you're doing right now? This isn't just a tool for leaders and managers. You can use this to appraise the people you're bringing into the company, as well as those that you're wanting to bring up through the company into leader positions in the future. There's a reason why Jack Welch built one of the most successful HR functions the world has ever seen. It's also the reason that he was referred to commonly as the CEO of CEOs. And on that note, feel free to check out more about Jack Welch. Click on the link in the comments section that I've provided. And by the way, come back and join us for episode 2. We'd love to see you again, and we'd love to share more information with you.